Greetings and salutations, YouTubers. This is ZillaFan85, back today doing another video and another figure review, of course. And today, one that I was anticipating for a while, I'm going to go ahead and review my Bandai Movie Monster Series Biollante figure. Oh yes, and Biollante is a kaiju that I really happen to love a lot. I know she is a fan favorite for many fans, for many G fans. Certainly a kaiju that I've always loved, and of course Godzilla vs. Biollante, the movie from 1985, the movie from 1989 in which she appears in, is actually among, in my top 10 favorite Godzilla films. So I was very, very happy to be able to get a hold of this figure. This is, like I said, this is the Bandai Movie Monster Series release. There is an older Bandai release of it, but that one is a more rare figure, and so it's harder to come by and it's much more expensive. So if you want to try to get a hold of that one, you'd have a much more difficult time doing so. This one was the 2018 release from Bandai, so this is it's a newer version, and it's a more common figure, as they put it, so it's a much more affordable one as well. So for anybody looking to add like a standard size Biollante figure to their collection like I was, and you don't want to spend the big bucks to either try to find that rare Bandai one, or try and spend the money on the X Plus or the SH Monster Arts renditions of her, this to me was a good option to go in, and I definitely like the figure. There are some drawbacks to it, which I'll discuss, but overall I think it is a really, really decent figure. So I want to go ahead and jump into it. Like I said, this is from, she appeared only in Godzilla vs. Biollante from 1989, but like I said, that is one of my top 10 favorite Godzilla films, and she is a monster that I have always loved. So let's go ahead and jump into this. So we're going to start with the paint job. As you can see, they did a decent job, but not perfect. So the main color paint here, as you can see, I want to try and keep her in view, so I'm going to do the best I can, folks. But you can see kind of like this darker forest green color that she's got all over her body, certainly very indicative of of the way that she looked in the film, and it's also got a bit of a lighter shading on these sort of leaf dorsal plates on her back, so you can kind of see the lighter shade of green on that, hopefully. Doing the best job I can here with the camera. I know it's a little difficult to see. I'm trying to see if I can make it view, but there is a bit of different shading between like the darker green here on this part of the body, and then on, like I said, on her back on the dorsal plates are actually a bit of a lighter shade of green. So that's actually a pretty nice touch there. For the eyes, you do have that sort of metallic purple paint for the eyes, and those actually look really, really good. Let me see here. I want to stay in focus, but I want to kind of show you guys a bit there. I think that's really nicely done. And that's something I kind of noticed a little bit later on, that they did that paint with this figure, but that is absolutely gorgeous. I happen to really like it. And then, of course, you've got that sort of creamish color for the teeth, for her teeth here, and for her tusks. She's got the 3 tusks on each side of her mouth. Very, very cool looking there. The only thing I don't like, and that's like a lot of people are saying, something Bandai has been doing, is that they're only painting like one side, of these figures in certain areas, and as you can see, they didn't paint the cream color on the underside of the tusks. Can you guys see that? Yeah. So they left those green instead of painting that more to bone, or at least, that more to cream color like they should have done. I don't know why they did that, or why they are doing that. I guess it's a way to cut corners. But, this is a more affordable figure, so what are you going to do, I guess you could say. But then you've got the outer tentacles / vines here that do have the cream color paint for the teeth there. So that's very, very nice. of course, on her main head. Here you've got that sort of deep red color on the inside of her mouth. So you can kind of see that there. That looks really cool. I definitely like that. And then you've got the metallic orange for her core, and that looks absolutely fantastic. That really looks awesome. I really, really like the way that they did that there. That's very, very nice. And then, of course, on her back tentacles here, this is, again, where they kind of cut corners, because you see it's really just that one, more of that forest green paint on the backside of her tentacles there. And they didn't paint the teeth at all. I don't understand why they wouldn't at least apply that same cream color paint to the teeth on the back tentacles, why they just left it green. But again, it's kind of like a cutting corner thing. I mean, it's a bit of a nitpick, but at the same time, I do think that they should have added that little extra detail. I don't think it would have, made or broke the bank to add that extra color to her there, at least for those back tentacles anyway. But, overall, though, it's not too bad. So, so I definitely overall think the paint is decent, but it just could have been, it was just lacking in a little bit of areas. But like a lot of people say, Bandai does tend to do that sometimes, especially with their more recent figure releases. But still not bad overall. And then from there, the paint to the detail, the sculpting and detail job. Now this is where I think this figure really happens to shine, and other people have said the same thing too, because they did a very, very nice job. You can see like the vines all over her body here, all seem to be etched in, very, very nicely done. So you can kind of see around her there, and you can see it's got the protruding spikes like she had when she was in her rose form, the horns around her as well. Those, and they're not super sharp, but you definitely feel the points to them as well. So you can see those. I really like that detail done there. Now on the tentacles, you got like these sort of smaller vines on those as well, so they added that in. They wrap around the tentacles themselves, the front ones. Same thing with the back ones as well here. You do have the teeth that were sculpted here for the front tentacles. You got them sculpted on the back ones, just not painted. Then of course the teeth that were at least sculpted, not like individually protruding, as they're more on the mouth itself, but they are there though at least. So they added that, made them separate looking so that they're not too meshed in together. On the inside of the mouth, you can see sort of those ridges. Let's see if I can, yeah, you can kind of see it there. It's not the greatest, but, like I said, I do the best I can, so you can see that. And then again, like I said, the leafy dorsal plates that go from the top of her head down her back, you can see all of those sculpted on there, and that is just awesome. Awesome, awesome. I really, really like the way they did this, and I like the way that they added the detailing in for the core as well. So you got that shiny orangish metallic paint, and then you can see though that they added the detailing into it, the segmentations and all that, so to really make it kind of pop. So that's something I think that they really did kind of excel at there. So I really like the detailing on this figure. I think they did an awesome job on it. And then pretty much other than that, from there, we'll go ahead and look at the articulation. This one does have our basic articulation and only a few points. The head can rotate, and it can go all the way around. As many of you know, I'm not crazy about doing the 360 rotation, but you can do it though. Here it's a little bit tight, but it can still work. And then the front tentacles, vines, can rotate as well, and they can actually go all the way around, as you can see. So, alrighty. So So you can see all that there. So that's about it for the articulation. So nothing too spectacular there. But it is basic, so you can at least do a few different poses. You can have her looking in different directions, doing some stuff with the front tentacles. So it serves its purpose, I think. And like I said, for more affordable release, it's actually not bad what you're getting. So anyway, other than that, so the other thing I want to mention, because this is that Bandai Movie Monster series release, it did come with the tag. As you guys may know as well, I don't like to keep my tags on the figure, so I always remove them off there, but I do keep the tags themselves, because it's kind of like a collector card sort of item. So this is the tag that she came with here. Very, very cool looking, that movie screenshot of her. Oh boy, does she look awesome in there. So menacing and just so awesome. Biollante is just an amazing kaiju that I really, really love a lot. So, and you see that you've got the Biollante scripting there in both the English and the Japanese text. You've got the 2018, because like I said, this is the Movie Monster Series 2018 release. And you got some other, and then you've got obviously like legal jargon information in the back here in Japanese mainly, so you can see that there. So that looks very, very cool, like the little silhouette of Biollante here on the card. Very, very cool. I really happen to like these tags. And then you got the back there showcasing a bit of Biollante with the tentacles there and stuff, and then some more information. Obviously that's the Godzilla vs. Biollante tagline there, and then of course the Movie Monster series and the Bandai logo. So very, very cool. I'll keep that there. So very, very awesome overall, this figure. So that's about it. The only other point that I do want to bring up here is I don't usually do sizing with my figures, but the one kind of point that I did want to make, though, with this one in particular is, unlike, say, for instance, the SH Monster Arts and X Plus figures, which actually do kind of showcase Biollante, because she's supposed to be a huge kaiju, very, very big and bulky and very, very imposing looking. She does have some of that bulk, but the height and all that, it's just not there. That's the one thing where that's the biggest drawback of this figure, and that's why I wanted to showcase that here. So I pulling out a figure that I've already reviewed, my NECA 54 Godzilla, and you can see, and these, which is in the 6 to 7 inch range, and as you can kind of see there, let's kind of move the camera, he kind of dwarfs her a bit, and that should not be the case. Like I said, this is a 6 to 7 inch range, and this figure is really supposed to be in that scale range, but as you can see though, it's much smaller than that. So if you want one that's really going to size well and really look imposing compared to your other kaiju that you've got in your collection, this is not really the way to go. Just because, like I said, she doesn't have that overpowering size about her, if you will. But if you just want a standard size Biollante figure in your collection, like I was kind of gearing for, and didn't want to spend the buku bucks on the X Plus or the SH Monster Arts figure, this is kind of the way to go. I'll take him away now here. And yeah, so that's like I said, that's the major drawback. Like I said, the paint application could have been a little bit better. Where it really excels is the sculpting, because they put a lot of nice detail into this figure. But if you want to do sizing and stuff, that's where it really lacks to me. However, it is nice to have a standard size Biollante figure in my collection, because because otherwise I have the Gashapon one and I have the Trendmasters one, but the Trendmasters figures are not really movie accurate, so at least this is more of a movie accurate take on it. I do wish that the back tentacles as well, that they were more of their own thing and could rotate and what have you and have articulation, but they're kind of molded onto the back, onto the main piece like that. But Like I said, just some nitpicks here and there, but the main drawback is the sizing. However, though, like I said, overall, I think this is a really nice figure. You're not going to break the bank on this. I got this on eBay. It was only around 30 bucks, and that's usually standard for this Bandai Movie Monster Series Biollante figure in particular, so it's usually in that, I guess, kind of $30 to $40 range is what I've seen it go for. So like I said, you're not going to break the bank on it, and if you want a standard size Biollante figure, this is a really nice option to go in. It's just that if you want it to look really imposing and you know, and menacing compared to your other kaiju, that's where it's going to kind of lack at, you know, and that's going to be its biggest drawback. But otherwise, though, I do really enjoy this figure. I think it's a really nice rendition of Biollante. She's a kaiju that I really happen to love a lot, and was really happy to add this to my collection. So other than that, though, folks, I think that does about wrap it up for this video. If you would like to subscribe, please feel free to do so. If you would like to like and or comment on any of my videos, please feel free to do so as well. And just remember, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, you be good to yourselves, and sayonara.